Speaking of blackball, my name is Kevin Baker. I currently work at Local 602. My grandfather was a custodian. My father was a die maker. I've been a production worker for 24 years. I started in Kalamazoo, worked in Flint, I've worked in Dayton, Ohio, Ypsilanti, Michigan, Lansing, Michigan, Local 652, and now Local 602. If it wasn't for the union, we wouldn't have had a middle class to begin with. I definitely am not an anti-union person. I am positively pro-union because I believe Americans should have the right to have better wages, better lifestyle for their children and their grandchildren. My problem is, as Tom was saying, I don't feel they've been forthcoming with me on many things. I feel they withhold information that should be mine. I pay union dues. I pay these people a monthly bill and don't feel that I'm getting much of a return in the communication area or any area because we don't get things till after the fact. As Tom said, their Constitution states that we're supposed to be involved in all these things. Congress, I implore you to have a congressional hearing because I don't know who to trust anymore. I don't trust the union. I don't trust management. And I'm not sure if I trust you guys. Somebody needs to step up for the American worker and help us. We're an auto workers that pay union dues and don't know where we stand in this whole deal. You hear things, you see things, and we don't know if there's collusion there, and there's no way for us to find out. Only our elected representatives can do that for us. So I implore you to have a congressional hearing on these things and start involving the worker. As Tom said, we have contracts, we have constitutions, and back in the old days, I'm sure my grandfather's rolling over in his grave right now because they did have collusion from the people from the floor because that kind of involvement was encouraged back then. And today it's discouraged. We bring people to the meetings and they tell us not to come back or they give us dirty looks. They don't involve the membership anymore, and that's the problem I have with my union. I definitely love the U.A.W. I love the fact that any American to have the right to a better life. The difference is, back in them days, the union, the leadership knew that they were trusted servants. Today, they don't. It seems that the focus has been off the membership. You know, the whole thing of a union means you get everybody involved. You take these different opinions and you come up with a better solution. Well, it's gotten to the point now we're not able to elect our regional people. We're not able to elect any of our people in Detroit, yet they call us a Democratic Union. I say no, it isn't. I say it's more like a communism because we don't have any say. We're not able to elect these people that are promoted into the region because they did stab their workers in the back or however they got there. The vote, which is America was founded on freedom, voting, has been taken away from us. Recently, we went on strike for 2 days for a national contract in 07. At that time, the plants were filled with temporary workers. Somewhere down the line, the union saw fit to let these temporary workers vote on his future as a retiree and my future as a worker, but does not allow this man to vote for his own future.
Right. I can't vote.
Being a retiree, the healthcare vote 2 years ago, I watched him turn retirees at the door while my friend walked up and gave a driver's license and got a ballot. These are the things I don't understand. Yeah. What my union has done is you're going to give a guy that's been in the plant 30 days the right to vote on this man's future that put in 30-something years for you and built many cars and helped you build these Taj Mahals. He doesn't have a say, but the temporary worker does. And to me, that's just completely backwards. I don't know why they would have ever done that. Well, I do have a problem when a person is allowed to come in as a temporary employee and vote on their futures, and this man isn't. Yeah. Okay, talking about the retirees and their benefits. I feel that they had an agreement and always had an agreement to take care of these people, and the worker from the floor has always been willing to do what it takes. In fact, when they came up with this health care vote, pretty much what I got out of it was, if we didn't give away our $1 an hour, then the retirees were going to have to give it up. And we were also told if we gave this $1 an hour up, they would never have to come back to us again. Here it is 2 years later, 3 years later, and now they're threatening to cut our wages. But before they do that, they're going to come and offer this man and me a package out. I have many people that I know that have took them packages now and are living this close to poverty, because everything that was promised in that package isn't there. The taxes were much more than what they were told, and so they bring homes a lot less. Most of them are working somewhere else now. This is the fear that they put into a worker with me with 24 years. They say, we're going to cut your wages $6, but we will give you this package out to grow into retirement. They use fear to get us out. Intimidation. And a lot of people rush to these judgments because they don't give you a whole lot of time. And a lot of them have regretted taking an early package out because we've been threatened with many things. None of them have come to pass. That's why I'm asking Congress to let us know, are they coming after our wages? Are they closing my plant? None of us know anything.
So the real void here is that the American worker, like yourselves, they're trying to do their jobs and do what it takes to succeed and fulfill the professionalism for the company. But you don't know what your future is day to day, and you don't know even down the line whether what you've been agreed to is going to be held up.
Well, that and the fact that, as I was stating earlier about these, I'm a little worried when I become a minority in the plant. They scare me to the fact where maybe to take a package and retire before I'm ready, because I've already seen the voting games they play and the games they play with people. I watched it in this last national contract as they filled the plants up with temporaries, and when the contract was voted on, they were gone. As they get more and more people to retire out, they act as if we're the problem because we're making the full wages. They act as if, hey, you're the problem with the company, we need you out so we can hire these lower wage people. But I've always did my job. I've always worked hard, and I don't feel I'm the problem. I feel it's another piece of General Motors just going for more greed. The agreement if they tell me we're gonna retire out at this amount, how do I know 2 years from now they're not gonna change? Give me a piece of paper saying you're never gonna change this man's pension.
They changed it anyway. They did in Kalamazoo.
This is what I'm saying. This is the double-edged sword. Is, hey, we're gonna give you an early retirement, but 2 years we may cut your pay in half. And they expect people to make decisions on half-truths, and we don't get the information the true information that we need. To the membership, and I've been at 6 different locals till I got here. Well, a week later, a guy from the International, Art Luna, come up to me and he says, I didn't like your comment, your politics the other day. I said, they weren't politics. I said, I was speaking for the way all the members out there feel about this strike, because we've been on strike. We don't know why we was on strike. We never gained nothing. In fact, I lost $4,000 out of my pocket for a month strike that none of us at that plant don't even know why. They claim it was for 6 picnic tables and 50 cents for 100 people raise. Bullshit. So when I made that statement at the ratification vote meeting downtown Lansing, and a week later, regional rep Art Luna come up and asked me why I said that, and I said, well, I'm just conveying what the people on the floor feel. And he said, why do you feel you have to speak for them people? Why do you? And I said, because it's your job to speak for them people, and you're not doing it. So I have to do it, whether I take the repercussions, which I do. They blackball me. But I told them I'm an American, and I will speak my mind. Until Congress decides we can't do that anymore, I will keep doing that. The politicians in Michigan should stand up for the auto worker, but every politician in the United States, whether they have a plant there or not, because this is an American thing versus a foreign thing.